So we'll call the meeting to order and ask the clerk just to read the call of meeting notice.
Just read that.
Yep.
Notice is hereby given to the qualified electors of the school district of Sevastopol that the annual meeting and budget hearing in said district for the transaction of business will be held in the Carl Schultz Fire Building in the new edition of the Sevastopol School on the fourth Tuesday, being the 24th of October, 2023, at 6:30 p.m.
Okay. I think everybody in the room knows each other, but for the sake of the camera, we'll do introductions. We have the superintendent, Pat Wilkie, elementary principal, Aaron Hiltz, high school, middle school principal, Troy Schaefer, director of Pupil Services, Melissa Markgraf. Our attorney this evening is Tyler Pluff from the Paper Law Firm. Carl Wolfman is the business manager. We have Stephen Tuhalski, the IT person in the back. School board members Sue Today, Dick Weidman, Jerry Warwick, Keith Volkman, Jeff Isaacson, Dave Kakmarinsky, myself, Lisa Berry, and member of the public, Linda Wade. So we will take nominations then for the election of chairperson.
I nominate Linda Wade as chairperson for the evening.
Second. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Linda? Someone else would have this person. Then you need to get somebody else to come to the meeting. I'll have to wrangle some of my friends to come with me. Thank you. All right, so we're moving on down the agenda. Number 5, previous minutes of the annual meeting held October 25th, 2022. We would look for a motion to accept, approve, and place on file.
I move to approve the minutes from the annual meeting, October 25, 2022, as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve the minutes of last year. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right, on item number 6 on our agenda, the 2022-2023 financial report, which is in the packet on pages 7 and 8.
Yeah. Okay. I don't need that.
Yeah, maybe, can I-
Come over here. Yes, no worries. You got it, Steve? Okay, so the 22-23 budget, year in review. We had planned on having a deficit of $872,804. The revenue is expected to be $10,721,709, and with expenditures of $11,594,513. Our unaudited, but the audit should be done in November because the auditors came in August. The revenue was a little bit higher than anticipated, which is typically what Carl and I do. We estimate our revenue at low and our expenditures a little high. So our revenue, $10,837,885. The expenditures were $11,363,770. So the deficit was $525,885 compared to the budget of $872. So that's better for us. Explanation is building maintenance services, $41,851. We did acquire a bus. The cost of the bus was a little up because buses continue to go up. It was $125,000 for this last bus. 5-6 years ago, we bought a bus for $85,000. They just keep going up. We've got one a year. Maintenance of vehicles. We now have Luke here on staff, and he's doing our bus services out back in the shed out there. so his expense of his position. But the savings we're getting is when we have a vehicle serviced, we're not getting marked up for the, like they go have your vehicle worked on at the dealership and they charge you an increase for your parts. We're buying the parts straight whenever possible. And propane was a large one with $35,528, and then we had some furnishings of $10,042. Revenue increases higher than budgeted. Our library aid came in over $13,000 greater than anticipated. We had some interest on investments because interest rates were decent for that, for $83,278. We had a rural schools grant for $8,468, and then the handicap aid was up $76,059. So unaudited, our fund balance would be $4,664,180. That reflects a fund balance of 41%. It was 44.94 the year before, so it went down a few percentage points. And like our auditors will tell you, we should have a fund balance between 25 to 28%. We don't want to get that low. We like to have a little bit more cushion than what the auditors say to get us through the lean times here, but we're financially still in pretty good shape if we have a fund balance of 41% and the balance, and they say it should be between 25 and 28. But as far as the year went, we did go in the red on the year. But overall, we're okay.
That's it.
You know, 23, 24 now? I was gonna think about my years.
What do we want to do?
Well, go ahead,
Can I
Linda.
ask a question?
Mhm.
As far as buses go, I'm gonna guess there are much less students riding the bus than years ago. Does the bus still have to be full size, or can you start thinking about more compact buses?
We have 9 buses, and the routes are at a capacity. They run efficient, so they're not full, but they're greater than what would be fit on a smaller bus. And the cost of a bus, the extra few feet of a bus, doesn't cut the cost by that much, because the engine and all the safety features are the expensive part of the bus. It's not that last, I don't know, 4 seats or whatever. That's the cheap part of the bus.
Everywhere else.
But we do have, Linda, you should know, we have 2 vans and also a truck. And when we can run a van, like an athletic team is going and they have less than whatever. We had a field trip the other day for the band, went down to Appleton to see the U.S. Marine Band. And they had 8 tickets, so they took the van because the 7 kids could be there. So when we can take a van, we do take a van. Or like we run the soccer team up to Gibraltar, we'll take 2 vans rather than 1 bus. So we do try to be as efficient as we can with cost.
Can only, when there's an event, a sporting event or a music event or whatever, can only students ride that bus, or can friends and family also ride the bus?
We never run a fan bus. And it's because the team has to get there so early for the event, and then the team has to go to the locker room after it takes too long. And depends what team it is. Like girls basketball would have a lot of room, but volleyball wouldn't have the room, so it wouldn't be efficient. So families, and so the bus is for students, it's not for fans. We haven't run a fan bus as long as I've been here.
We did, the only time we ran one was state
Regionals?
football.
State football? Okay, that way, okay.
Yeah.
So state would be right.
Yeah.
And then we made sure we had to have enough riders to reach a certain cost,
Right.
even though we went in the red on that run, because the bus driver cost $25 an hour. And a bus costs 10 cents in fuel per mile.
Do you want to do?
20 off, we okay for 23, 24 then?
Sure, are we moving on down to the next item then?
Yeah.
All right, so that was the state. Okay, so the district. Okay, academic progress report.
So that would be your first.
That's it.
Melissa, tap on the screen. You can Vanna it.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to our annual report to the community. My name is Melissa Margraf. I'm the People Services Director here at Sevastopol. I don't know that my colleagues introduce themselves.
I'm Troy Schaefer, middle school, high school principal.
Aaron Hiltz, elementary principal.
And we're thankful for community members and our board that are here tonight and our public who are watching to be able to enjoy and celebrate our past year at Sevastopol.
So some of our academic highlights, last year we started a curriculum called Character Strong that was implemented through elementary, middle school, and high school. We had, for our AP test scores last year, we had 36 students take AP exams. 81% of them, 81% of those exams were passed, meaning they scored a 3 or higher. Elementary has introduced a new math curriculum called Intuit. We started our manufacturing, our CNC program, where we invite all the schools of Door County to be a part of that. Garrett Soul is our instructor. He does a tremendous job. We also had, by one teacher last year, AP Physics 1, AP Physics C, and AP Chemistry for our students. This year's graduating class had a 23.52 average for their ACT, which was outstanding. And our 2023 graduating class last year, 59% of them are currently attending a four-year college, while 20% attending tech college. This one's kind of small, but I'll be a little bit more vocal. Last year was really exciting. We brought home 2 global championships for Destination Imagination, both our elementary and high school team. Exciting part about the high school team winning, the team that they ended up ousting or beating was a engineering school from China that they ended up overcoming to take home the global championship. Was really exciting. And also both the elementary and high school received the Da Vinci Award for creativity and innovation. On the sports front, girls basketball went undefeated last year. They were conference champions as well as regional champions. Our volleyball team, girls volleyball, was regional champions. Bailey Ricola, a highlight for Sevastopol, had 1,000 points in basketball, 1,000 digs in volleyball. She was also the player of the year in basketball and named to the WBCA, Wisconsin Baseball Coaches Association Elite Academy All-State Award. Ben Roman was a state qualifier in wrestling. Logan Filer was a state qualifier in swimming. Kylie Dusler, Danica Orkeiser, and B. Drown qualified for state in track. Our volleyball team received a very distinguished award by the Wisconsin Coaches Association. They were a member of the all-academic team. They were #1 in Division 4 with an overall GPA, or average GPA, of 4.170. Our girls basketball team also won the Academic All-State Team Award by the Wisconsin Coaches Association in Division 5 with a 3.9 grade average. Our high school math team had their 3rd consecutive year earning 2nd place in conference with 8 teams. Approximately 25 students were a part of our high school math team. 8 of those students earned medals, and Ezra Lenan and Logan Filer earned all conference. In staying strong with our math programs that we have, our middle school math team, they were Door County champions at the math meet for the 8th year in a row, which is impressive. And 16 of the students, of our students, were in the top 20. At the Math Counts regional meet, we took 5th place. The top 4 teams go on to state. So, nice strong showing by our math team.
Some other highlights of things that were new last year. We had our first ever Fine Arts Night. We were able to dovetail that with National Honor Society Pancake Dinner, and that included representation from the music and the tech ed departments. All together that evening, somewhere in the ballpark of 500, 600 people were able to come through, which was exciting. We introduced at the middle school, high school levels, restorative justice practices in terms of discipline. In terms of hiring, we had minimal departures and were able to find quality people to fill those roles, which isn't something that's easy to do in districts these days, so that says something about us. We were able to return to holiday concerts and include the senior citizen concert, again for the first time in a number of years since COVID, provided them lunch. We added first grade and K-5 to an outdoor eco lab experience that the second graders had been doing. The fourth grade put together a book composed of some ELA and artwork, and that was published. And there was an event over the summer that gave people an opportunity to see that. The neighborhood association that put that together made a number of donations this year to try and have that happen again. So it was really, really neat to see. We've introduced the intraception curriculum. That's something that takes a look at self-regulation, especially in the special ed department, on how to do that better. And we've introduced phonemic awareness training with spell links, and that builds on 5 blocks to help improve reading, instruction, and learning.
I'm going to take over and talk a little bit about our 2022-23 report card. And our overall district score was an 80.3, which exceeds expectations. The new report card is coming out in November, so I can only really speak about the last year, but our district, again, our score out of 100 was 80.3. Our high school scored 61.3, middle school 93.9, elementary was 82.1. This past year, the board had helped establish a goal of our district overall score being significantly exceeds expectations. So I know we are all working towards that goal currently. A little bit more about student achievement that relates directly to the report card. The report card score, the academic portion, is taken account of our students grades 3 through 8 and grade 11 for social studies only take the forward exam. Our dynamic learning maps are the tests that our students with the most significant disabilities take. The ACT Aspire test, which actually should say the pre-ACT that was last year, and the ACT test right now. Pre-ACT are our 9th graders and our 10th graders, and of course our juniors take the ACT. The ACT scores, the class average in 2023 was 22.3, and then we can see the score that we're projecting hopefully for, well not we're hoping, they've already taken it for 2024, is 23.52, so we're really, really proud of the class, really proud of all of their accomplishments.
As Mrs. Margraf had said, the forward exam or the state report cards don't come out until November, but there is a website called School Digger, and it takes a look at forward exams and a number of other factors and puts those things together to come up with rankings for district, for high school, middle school, and elementary. And you can see that last year we were in the top 5 to top 10% in the state. And according to School Digger, those scores have decreased, which is a good thing, in half. So our district is in the top 3%, high school top 3%, middle school top 4%, and the elementary in the top 5%. We don't have a slide for it, but in your packet, there's also a breakdown of school rankings for some of the schools in the area, so you can kind of see how we compare to our neighbors. One of the other things that we have focused on this past spring, as we've done in other springs, we do a staff survey, and we've narrowed it down to the highest 5 scores, something that we need to pat ourselves on the back for. is teachers having access to the technology support that they need, that the staff does a good job of educating students, as you can see by the scores that we have and the rankings that we have. They feel safe at work, they have the technology they need to do their job well, and healthy working relationships with their coworkers. The lowest 5 scores, and we need to think of that not necessarily that they are low scores, but they are the lowest scores that we received, are things that we're working on this year. Getting teacher involvement as we try and address them, that the school board is doing what it takes to make our district successful. The district pay practices are fair. Our schools' student discipline practices and policies are effective. The district seeks input from a broad group of staff members, and our staff handles student discipline in a consistent manner.
Aaron, could you pass the slide?
There we go.
Some other notable information, our STRIDE program is a very successful program. It continues to be full and utilized very effectively for our students to provide them some help. Our 2022-2023 community programs were a success. Last year, our juniors and seniors, that was over 99 people, ended up going to the PAC in Appleton to see Hamilton. The elementary introduced 2 texts for students, Rich Teaching, in 2022-2023, and then this year, elementary staff is reading Culturally Responsive Teaching and the Brain. At the high school, middle school, high school staff were reading the book last year for their book study, Hacking School Discipline, which talks about the application of restorative practices, restorative justice within the school. And then this year we're reading a book called Lead with Culture, What Really Matters in Our School.
On the horizon for 23-24, the things we're really excited that we're working towards this school year. The first one up there is that we've brought back the Parent Cafe to Sevastopol. Happens every month, our next cafe, and that's in collaboration with the United Way and Sevastopol School. So it's here every month. Our next Parent Cafe is November 7th. And the topic is how to raising competent and resilient children. So we hope that people come and participate. What a milestone to know that Sevastopol School, has been educating students for 100 years. So this has been a really, really exciting piece for all of us here. We've had a kickoff event which happened Labor Day weekend, which was filled with notable speakers and a wonderful kind of barbecue and a chance for everyone to the community to come together. Just a couple of weeks ago, or I think it was actually just last week, we had an alumni forum where they came into school and talked about what Sevastopol was like through the years. So I know we're all excited to see the publication of that and have that come out. We're having a book signing. We're having a special 100-year anniversary yearbook come out. Students are going to be proudly wearing 100-year t-shirts with our new logo that's on it. We also look forward to school lunch night at a basketball game that's coming up, and then also vintage wear night in January. The idea here is to celebrate along the years all the good work that Sevastopol has done throughout the years. Next week, next week in 2 weeks, we are hosting the countywide Veterans Day event, so I know there's a lot of people that are working towards a successful event there. We are working currently, and it's not it is the ELA, it's the English Department's turn to vet the current English curriculum, to look at other curriculums, and then to determine and bring to the board what they believe is the best curriculum for our students. So that will be, our ELA team will be very busy doing that up until, I guess, winter time. On December 1st, we're planning a poverty simulation for staff. And that's during our in-service, so staff can have more of an understanding of our economically disadvantaged students and how we can best reach them in the classroom and outside the classroom too. We have also coming up in the next year is Act 20, which was just passed, so we have new reading guidelines for the state of Wisconsin. So again, the ELA department and administrators will be working to make sure that Sevastopol adheres to Act 20 and all of its regulations. We have a color run fundraiser between our National Honor Society. Was that Destination Imagination? I assumed it was that. So that'll be fun. I know that's coming in the first couple weeks of December as well. And then finally, Mr. Kint and the Student Council will once again do their very highly successful food drive. So we're able to distribute what, some needs that our community members have. So we're excited for what's to come. Anything to add, gentlemen?
That's it. People have any questions?
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice. Okay. I assume we're going to use that. So next on the agenda, the item 8, the 2023-2024 budget presentation and hearing.
What are we feeling?
Okay, Fund 10 is our general fund. In the 23-24, the revenues expected are $10,698,400, with our expenditures in Fund 10 being $11,314,473. That includes the expenditures for transferring Fund 15 to 2750's food service, always has to be even at the end of the year, and 27 is special education, which has to be even at the end of the year, for a budget deficit of $616,073. Enrollment projections, which should be pretty accurate since we had our third Friday count in September. Last year we had a small 4K class, so those kids transfer up to the 5K. This year we have a healthy group of 38 in the 4K program. We have 35 seniors this year, of which 2 are foreign exchange students, so we have a very small senior class exiting as well.
The early childhood is 3 and under in special ed. Currently do not have any yet.
Right. So we have, it's a decrease, right? No? Yeah, it's an increase in allowable, right?
No, it's decreased.
Decrease. Enrollment in our 3-year rolling average is a little bit less. So we get a declining enrollment benefit, but overall we're down 16,704 for our revenue amount here. And that's, okay, that's who we are. The amount we're going to levy in the 3 funds, the general fund is $8,074,356. The long-term capital debt is for the building project. It's $4,018,840. That's up 18,000 from last year. And then the community service, which is Fund 80, is 20,000. That remains constant for a grand total of $12,113,196. That's exactly the same amount of taxes that we levied last year as a school district. And because the property values increased, was it 20.6%? Which would be some new growth and assessed value, we will have the same amount of taxes collected, but it'll be divided out by a larger tax base, property value base. So the mill rate's $5.06, which is a decrease from last year of $6.12, so it's down $1.06. So if that new growth takes on part of that $12.1 million, depending on the value of your house, the rest should get spread out, but some people's houses were assessed more than others. But in theory, we're collecting exactly the same dollar amount, we're spreading it over more property wealth. So.
Are there any other presentations?
No, we're okay, yeah.
All right, so moving on down the line here, agenda number 9, approval of the 2023-2024 school tax levy, which you will find the numbers on page 9. And I believe that third column budget should be 2023-2024,
Correct.
that last column. So we would entertain a motion to approve that tax levy, and then I believe we need to state for the record the individual funds and the total.
Correct.
I move that we approve the 2023-24 tax levy in the general fund of $8,069,766. Tax chargebacks of $4,590. Capital expansion fund of $4,018,840. And the community service fund of $20,000 for a total school levy of $12,113,196.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Lisa and a second by Susan to approve the tax levy as stated. No discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, item number 10, establishing the 2023-2024 school board salaries, which are currently $270 per month per board member, plus a $50 per diem for each meeting attended outside the district, plus mileage to and from. Discussion, comments? The same?
I make a motion to keep it the same.
Second.
Motion by Keith and second by Lisa to retain that 270 per month, plus the per diems and the mileage, same as the current school year. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried. And item number 11, establish the 2024 annual meeting time, place, and date with granting the school board authority to change as necessary or if necessary. So I believe that's
The fourth Tuesday would be the 22nd of October.
so October 22nd, 2024.
I believe so. Let me check
Yes,
that.
that would be the same night.
We can make it 2 days.
At 6:30, same time.
Same time?
Do we need a motion to establish that?
Yes.
I would move to establish the 2024 annual meeting time, place, and date as October 22nd, 2024 at the Sevastopol School in the Carl Schultz room.
Pioneer. Pioneer.
With the authority to change if necessary by the board. Okay. Second by Lisa. All right, no discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried. And number 12, adjournment.
I would move to adjourn.
Second.
All right. We have a motion to adjourn our meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And we are adjourned. Thank you.